Hello, and welcome to another episode of For the Love of Sports. My name is Michael Rasile. This is a show where we get to talk about sports, we get to talk about business, and we get to talk about everything in between. Wherever you're listening, however you're listening, you know exactly what to do. Like and subscribe over on YouTube, 5-star review on Spotify, and on Apple. Say something really nice about me and my incredible guest today. I have John Fieldley. He's the CEO and president of Celcius. John, how you doing today, man?
Glad to be here.
Pleasure is all mine, John. Very excited to get to talk to you about your business, about what you're building, how you've been building it, the incredible people that you put yourself around and around you. But, John, the first question I have for everybody on the For the Love of Sports podcast is, why do you love sports so much?
Sports are great. It's all about the excitement. It's working hard, accomplishing your goals. Sports are critical, right? It's great to see people, accomplish what they put their dedication and passion come to life. So that's what it's all about, right? And I do that each and every day.
Each and every day. I was going to say, how easy is it to make that analogy to business too, right? It's
It
the
is.
easiest one in the world.
It's the same, right? Always try your best. Always get better. Always work to achieve your goals.
Oh man, you were just coming in hot with the what are those colloquialisms? The nice easy. They're just laying them up right, nice little meatballs. Just knock them out of the park. You're doing great, man. Do you have like a quote board at your work maybe that you just? No, I'm kidding. No, very excited obviously to get to talk to you about what you've built again in Celcius. Incredible drink, incredible product. The reason why is and behind it. So let's start there. What exactly is Celcius for anybody out there that's not familiar yet?
Yeah, the brand's been around for over really a decade. So the brand's it's really one of the only clinically proven functional beverages on the market today. And originally it was launched as literally like a calorie burning, a fat burning product. And at the time they're only in tablets or capsules. So the original founding team built Celcius with over 7 essential vitamins. None of the bad stuff either. So fresh ingredients. We got no artificial chemical preservatives. We have, when you really look at, no aspartame on the product. But most importantly, the product had 6 clinical studies done on it that were done at Oklahoma University, which clinically proved that Celcius actually burns calories and body fat. So it's a great pre-workout product. And I've been with the brand now over 10 years. And we've taken that really foundation of the brand and really have expanded it upon mainstream consumers and the mega trends that are around today. So everyone wants better for you, but they don't want to sacrifice flavor or taste. Celcius has over 7 essential vitamins with green tea and ginger, guarana, biotin, a lot of great ingredients, but it doesn't sacrifice taste. We got great taste and innovation. And then I think when you think about the second mega trend that's out there is we want more function in the foods and beverages we consume. So Celcius delivers that with that functional attributes of calorie burning and fat burning, increasing your metabolism. And then number 3, we built this brand over the last 10 years in the gyms and health clubs. And fitness is cool, hip, sexy, premium. And we're aligned with everyone from athletes to, everyone in each and every day living life to the fullest and providing that essential energy. So that's kind of the foundation of the products. We got great flavors, just launched lemon lime, a lot of good stuff in the works here.
I love it. My favorite's Arctic Vibe. Easy favorite for me. That was I tried a bunch of them. Thank you again. Appreciate you sending them out. Shout out Marlon too, by the way. That dude's the absolute best. The Arctic Vibe is definitely my favorite. I see the peach over there too. That one's delicious. So a couple of things that you said. So as you said, you want fresh ingredients. You want no preservatives or any of those things. It's very easy to do that on a small scale. It's very difficult to do that on a large scale because that's where you kind of have to start sacrificing along the way. How have you guys been able to make sure that you're not sacrificing anything by going mass market, by getting your product and your brand out there to so many people without having to worry about, is this, we can't use this fresh ingredient anymore because it's only going to last for yada, yada, yada. How have you guys been able to accomplish that?
Yeah, we work really closely with our suppliers. So our flavor houses, no artificial flavors is really key to us. So we work really closely with our flavor houses, making sure that they're able to supply us with no chemical flavors. We don't want that. No aspartame in our product, and we go through additional processes in production of our product, which we use tunnel pasteurization instead of like benzoate and some of those other chemical preservatives. So the product's been able to scale. It's really working really closely with your partners and suppliers to make that happen. And I agree with you. When you get broad distribution, a lot of better for you products can't scale, but the team's been working really hard and working really closely with our partners and suppliers, and partners are key.
Yeah, I think that's very smart from your standpoint. You got to make sure everyone's on the same page there, and that completely makes sense. So as you said, the brand's been around for a decade, so I'm I'm on the internet, not quite as much as everybody else, right? So I'm there. I see things. I pay attention a little bit. I like to pay attention specifically in categories that like the halo effect around sports. So I would put Celcius in that kind of for a personal category. I've recently started to see the brand maybe over the last 2 or 3 years. One of the biggest ones that I saw was the deal with Caleb Williams. I think that one's awesome. So I wanted to get to that in a second. But I am kind of curious, how have you been able to fight the good fight compared to, and I will also notice, just for everyone out there, you never said energy drink anywhere. So I assume that was on purpose because you seem very buttoned up. You know what you're talking about. But how have you been able to combat that type of energy drink, that Monster, the NOS, or even the 5-hour energies, right? It's just vitamins, it's just minerals, it's good for you. How have you been able to fight that fight, almost kind of siloing yourself and separating yourself from those, energy drink category while also building this brand and being like, hey, no, we're an alternative kind of. How have you been able to do that?
Yeah, I think that's a unique position when you look at Celcius. I mean, we don't go like really hard, aggressive energy drink. We're a great pre-workout. So, all the science is based on consuming Celcius really 15 minutes before a fitness activity. And, that's in our DNA. We want to allow you to, we want to provide that essential energy for inside, outside the gym, to live life fullest, live life to the better, and accomplish your goals. And that's really what we've been focusing on, not the aggressive energy approach. Now, the product gives you great energy. It gives you, and the great thing about it is the way the product's built with the vitamins that we had is that it doesn't give you this crash. So you don't get this like huge spike and crash. And we hear that over and over again from our consumers. But to your point, like taking an aggressive approach, we're more than energy. So we're not going, yes, we provide energy, but we provide so much other, attributes and differentiations in the category. And today we're really going after total beverage. So we're seeing Celcius being consumed at lunch and a variety of other areas that, historically over the last, 5 years when we built this brand in gyms, at Vitamin Shop and GNC, it was mainly truly a workout product, but just due to the main scale and opportunity we have and the great product in itself, we have something more than just, a pre-workout and an energy. We think we're going after total beverage here. So a little bit different position than the hardcore, say, Monster or, Red Bull's position.
Yeah, Red Bull, that's also another one. Probably should have brought them up. With that, I guess, how has your brand strategy, your marketing strategy, or really your distribution strategy changed since you've seen over the last few years that people are now considering this like, hey, I can drink this at 12, in the afternoon and not worry about it. This can be my 2:30 cup of coffee instead of, going back to the well on that. Has anything changed there? Or are you guys trying to just stick to your guns and saying, hey, if you find us in a nice spot, enjoy it, but, we're going to focus where we focus?
Well, I think COVID changed a lot of that. So, pre-COVID, we were mainly focusing on, fitness, mainly focusing on, consuming Celcius before an activity, to help align with your health and wellness goals or, your next sports activity. But, with COVID, it changed kind of everyone's look and kind of feel. And when you think about, post-COVID world, it really care about what we put in our body. And we really took product, we took some time for us to really look at Celcius and really identify. We have some great ingredients in the product. We taste great. We're really going after it. Celcius Live Fit is our mantra we had. And Live Fit today means something totally different than it did almost 3 to 4 years ago. And Live Fit is more of a lifestyle now. And we all have this Live Fit lifestyle. So we really have been working on that and really expanding upon that over the last several years. And the distribution has expanded as well. Especially most recently, we partnered with Pepsi in October of last year, which is just monumental for the brand and for the organization and for consumers to be able to get Celcius now in more retailers around the country than you could 12 months ago. So that really has brought us into somewhat of the same playing field opportunity as a Red Bull or Monster. So, we're a number 3 energy drink brand right now in the country, which is really exciting and so much momentum. And when you see Celcius, to your point, like the usage occasion as you look for it, we're seeing that evolve. We're seeing that expand outside, maybe where the usage occasion was, even 4 to 5 years ago. And we just got an amazing product on our hands at Celcius, and it's just it's great product all the way around. Like I said, the vitamins, the flavor combinations the team puts together, the functionality. And then our lifestyle, we're not really pigeonholing ourselves to one area or the other, and expanding, as you mentioned, with the usage availability expanded. We're expanding the usage occasions, and it's working. I mean, the brand is doing extremely well. Products are great, and retailers are really happy with us. And most importantly, consumers love us at this point. You see all the excitement on social media and with our athletes. It's just a really exciting time at Celcius.
That is awesome, man. Well, kudos and congratulations on that Pepsi deal. I'm sure you might have had a hand in that. I'm sure at that point. So good for you guys. I think that's awesome. And again, like, it allows so many other people to check out this brand, check out what you guys are doing. Again, be a part of this, right? We're all looking for a tribe. We're all looking for a community. If this is one that someone can be a part of, I think that's awesome because, again, it is a lot of vitamins, a lot of minerals, and it tastes delicious. And yeah, it definitely puts a pep in your step. So again, anyone out there, I'm sure we'll put a link in the description to go check out some Celcius, but I think it's definitely worth it there. So you bring up social media, you bring up athletes a little bit. So I do want to talk about that aspect. The Caleb Williams one, that was the one that showed me, like, that opened my eyes a lot more to the brand, right? I pay attention to stuff. I have people on here talking about NIL all the time. Yeah. I am a huge football fan, a gigantic college football fan. Love watching Caleb Williams this year. Unfortunately, fell a little short in that Cotton Bowl, but that game was just absolutely incredible. How do you identify, I guess, let's start broad and kind of go, scope down a little bit. How do you identify people you work with from a brand partnership perspective before we even get into the athlete side of things?
Yeah, I think, well, number one, like when we look at, our partners and brand partners, you want authenticity, I think is extremely important. So, number one, you got to be, we look for individuals that are, already fans of the brand, like the product. I like the product as much as we like the product, and our employees like the products, and our fans like the products, and consumers. So I think that's like, you got to start there. Don't try to force anything with other brands. If it doesn't fit, right? So, with Caleb Williams, that was just really exciting. We wound up, I think one of our team members saw that he had a can of Celcius on like a post, or he was walking into the arena. We're big fans as well, like super excited, and we wound up reaching out and DMing, and we put a relationship together. And he's an amazing athlete, and represents what Celcius is about. It's about living fit, accomplishing your goals, and living life to the fullest, and Celcius providing that essential energy to get it done. So I mean, it's like a match made in heaven there when you look at it. And Caleb's just an amazing athlete all the way around, and he's going to have just a huge career and foundation, and so much opportunity ahead of him.
Amazing athlete. He's also an amazing businessman. That dude knows what he's doing when it comes to his NIL deals. And yeah, I think authenticity is the number one thing, right? I used to work with athletes specifically in the Olympic space, and it was always, anytime I talked to a brand, it's like, well, do they eat at Chipotle? Like, how often are they there? Why are they not talking about us then? That's something, if you're an athlete listening to this, one thing you can take away is, if you use a brand, like, no free ads is like a fun joke to say, but like, no, give them all the free ads because they're paying attention. You guys are paying attention, as you said. Then you were able to reach out. Then you were able to find a deal. Now, maybe the deal isn't as big as Caleb Williams. Shout out. I hope everyone's very happy with the deal, right? But at the same time, understanding as an athlete now with NIL opportunities that just give the free ads because those brands are paying attention. How are you guys looking at, I guess, the NIL space specifically? Was this just kind of a, Caleb's an athlete and he likes our brand, this is awesome? Or was this a, hey, we want to make sure we're looking at the college opportunities because now this is a brand new space that we've never been able to play in before?
Yeah, actually, we were part of there were some NIA like seminars that took place, and we got involved with. We have had some attorneys that were there as well, helping, just adding, talking about environments and contracts, and just really trying to be a part of what was taking place. This is revolutionary for the athletes, and we wanted to be part of it. When you look at the college students, we know we have a great fan base in the college students. So how do we further embrace that? So it seemed like a great fitting when we were looking at it, and we continue to. I think there's a great opportunity there for other athletes when they're looking for opportunities with brands. To your point, exactly. I mean, when you mentioned the Chipotle opportunity. I mean, yeah, you gotta, right? You want to, if a brand wants to partner or kind of work on an agreement or arrangement and really align, you're going to have to really be supportive of the brand. And brands want more than just a transactional environment. And I think the athletes want something more than just transactional, right? You're truly looking for a partner, a brand partner, to grow both brands. So it should help. It should help both ways in our mind.
Completely agree. I think it's very important. It's a two-way street, right? And making sure that two-way street, everybody's on it. I think it's such a good way of thinking about it. I'm also curious. I know you guys have a partnership in some capacity with the Professional Fighters League. So obviously a slightly different bend, right? With a specific athlete, we can see, we can understand, they can talk about it from a personal perspective. What was behind, I guess, this deal in terms of why did you guys do it? What were the positives that you could see that came from it, and how did they? I guess, what's their side of the two-way street, if I may?
Yeah, I mean, Professional Fighting League, PFL, I think we're really excited about it this year. When you look back at history, you got UFC, you got the PFL, and what's interesting about the PFL is that the way it's structured, the way the bracketing system works, it almost, it's attracting a lot of great athletes within the MMA space in regards to, bracketing and ranking and how the fights and the matches come together. So, you can truly see who you're going to fight and how you're going to scale and how you're going to win the championships. And so we felt it was a great partnership for us. It's a new concept that's gaining more excitement from other MMA fighters. There's a lot of controversy around fighters' pay. And that's another reason we partnered with Jake Paul prior to him also partnering. He's a partner of the PFL as well, and he's big on fighters' pay and, for really, supporting everyone. And we felt that not only did it help out with the cause of Celcius in regards to, being able to help the fighters, help this great opportunity within MMA. And it's a great fit. It's an up-and-coming really league, and we wanted to be a part of it. It reaches a new consumer that we really haven't penetrated or really connected with, prior to getting involved in this. And we do partner originally about a year and a half ago. We partnered with Dustin Poirier, and it's another great example of an athlete that's been really a great fan, part of top team. We're down in South Florida. He trains down in South Florida. And, he's been a great fan of the brand for several years now, and consuming Celcius before as a pre-workout before his fights and training. And that partnership worked because of the authenticity, and kind of the same way with Caleb Williams, how that came to fruition. So, it's a great partnership. Dustin Poirier's an amazing athlete, as we all know, and it sounds like he's going to be gearing up to potentially fight again coming soon the next couple months. So we're excited for him.
Yeah, definitely excited for something like that. Those are usually pretty electric fights, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, definitely have lost money betting against him. So I might change my strategy on that one. But I am curious. So you brought up how it's a new, the Professional Fighters League. Dustin specifically is that's again a different use case, kind of similar to Caleb. He likes the product. He wants to use the product. Let's engage with him. The Professional Fighters League, the PFL. You said this is a new opportunity, a new audience that you haven't penetrated. How do you determine when, where, how, who, in terms of, hey, we want this audience because of X, Y, Z? What do you guys look at when saying, okay, we have this, we have that. How do we get to these people because we think it's worth it?
Yeah, I mean that's when you go in and put your marketing strategies together every year, we evaluate them all the time. It's as we expand with distribution and our reach, like availability at stores, you look to expand into additional verticals, as we call them. So, within college and universities, that's a vertical for us. And when we saw, when we first initially started to partner because of the brand relationship with Dustin Poirier, we saw a lot of opportunities within the space, especially it's a younger male demographic that's, that has a larger presence within the MMA space. And, we think there's a lot of great opportunity with these athletes, especially, with the health and wellness, the accomplishing your goals, and most importantly, each and every one of them are top premium athletes living fit each and every day. And so it's a perfect tie-in for the overall brand mantra and our connection into health and wellness and fitness. And it allows us to go after really broaden the space into this 18 to 24 male demographic that we made a strategic move, partnering with the PFL to kind of target them a little bit more and try to bring them into the portfolio and bring in the brand Celcius.
It's a very common demographic, right? I work in sports betting. Who do you think we go after? I mean, not 18, obviously, 21 to 39-year-old males, right? You look at, certain media companies, 21 to 39-year-old males. Only so many people, right? These people only have so many dollars. Why do you think that they want to spend it with you guys versus the Monsters, the Red Bulls, the Nasses, who have been pretty much shoved in their face since they were like 14, right? Like what do you guys believe you can do to take them away from an incumbent and say, hey, no, come over here. We've got something a little bit better for you.
Yeah, so that's the big opportunity. So we know our product is, we got better ingredients. We feel we have great flavors, great flavor combinations. Michael, you mentioned the Arctic Vibe is a great flavor. I mean, I got kiwi guava. We got over 20 great flavors.
The watermelon,
lemon lime behind me. We just launched that in January. Yeah, watermelon's lights out. We got great opportunity.
Great. I would say specifically about the watermelon. I don't mean to cut you off, but like I hate watermelon flavored things because it never tastes like watermelon. So I tried this and I was like, wait, shit, this is actually pretty good. It doesn't suck. Like it was kind of the nice thing. So thank you again for that. Tell the team. Great job.
Lights out. Got lights out flavors. We got new innovation coming as well. They just launched a Fantasy Vibe, which is this mandarin marshmallow flavor, which is really lights out. Some really good stuff. Peach Vibe. But I mean, when you look at where the the flavor combinations and connecting with consumers, but how do you get them to convert, right? To mention Nas and those. So we feel we have a better offering. We've sampled so many consumers, and we know once we get trial, the likelihood of buying and converting them into the portfolio because of all what we have to offer, we get a new consumer in. So I agree with you that 18 to 24 male has been hit with all these three major brands their whole life since they were born. We feel we're bringing something really unique, and times are changing, right? When times are changing big, post-COVID, people care about what you put in your body. Sugar, right? Some of those energy drinks you just mentioned have like 28 grams of sugar. It fills up a whole Ziploc bag. You might as well pour that down your throat, So those are things that, we need to think about. Do we really need all that sugar in our life? And, when you look at it, and today's consumer, 18-24, male, female, and everyone, they're paying attention to what you're putting in their body. You're looking at the ingredients. Do I need all that extra caffeine throughout the day? How much caffeine am I consuming? How much aspartame am I consuming? And so I think what you're putting in your body is important, and that's what we're going to educate them on. We think we got the perfect mix on with vitamins and flavor and functionality, and we can align with their health and wellness goals and hopefully convert them into the brand.
I'll cross my fingers for you. I think that's a great way of doing it. Yeah, I hate how much sugar is in those drinks, and then the sugar-free ones. That's even more dangerous in my opinion, but we don't need to go down that road. I guess I'm kind of curious, as you've brought up education a couple times, I guess what are you guys doing to educate consumers, right? You can throw, vitamins and minerals and look, we got this, we got that, but like, how are you trying to make sure that people understand that this is inherently different? You've had multiple studies done, 6 if I'm not mistaken. Boomer Sooner, right? Oklahoma, not Oklahoma State. How are you guys making sure that you're going about that education piece? Because I do believe consumers want to be smarter now, right? I work in I work for a gambling company. That's one thing that I try and push all the time. Educate users on what exactly is going on, because you see it all the time. They're just doing it because it's cool, right? And hey, maybe sometimes that's probably a little bit better for your category, not as great for mine. But like, how are you guys going about educating? How are you going about through partnerships, through deals, through brands, through just social media to make sure that they're fully understanding how much better your product is than the incumbents?
Well, I think, even going back 5 years ago, consumers are so aware of what's going on. And now, with smartphones, you're like 2 clicks away to find out anything you want. You got a whole library within just clicks away that you can get information, and information is flying so quickly. So, we have a lot of great information on our website. Go to Amazon, look at our reviews. It's not only what the brand says, right? Because you really got to look at the reviews and what customers say. So we got great reviews on Amazon, over 4.5 stars when you look at it. And there's, I forget what the number's up to today, but thousands and thousands of product reviews. So I think that's what consumers really want to see. So we'll provide that information with the credibility within a variety of different marketing verticals, samplings. You mentioned social media, our website, our retailers' websites are most important. But I think it comes down to consumers. They really want to see the reviews as well to show that this product is really what it is, what it says it does, and consumers are so aware. So it's not one silver bullet that you could say, or one thing that has made Celcius, the number 3 energy drink as it stands today. But I think it's that repetition, that the constant focus and alignment with health and wellness, because that's what Celcius is about. That health and wellness is so critical, which differentiates ourselves. You look at what's in the product, look at the label, look at the fans, look at the credibility, look at the reviews. And we continue to expand upon that. Mentioned PFL, like going into different additional verticals to educate more consumers than we ever have ever before. So
it's a great way to go about it. I think education, people want to feel empowered, right? You give them the information, you let them make the decision, they feel like they made the decision, and then that is more entrenched in their brain, right? That's some fun marketing from college that I think I remembered. So
yeah, and I think the best is like peer to peer, right? I mean, if you recommended a product, if you really like a product, then I'm telling you, you try Celcius, you start drinking it. I mean, you feel better. It's a great product, and that's what's great. We have an amazing product, and then people tell friends and family members, and then so I think word of mouth is really critical as well. And when you have a good product, that works, and that's what's been really successful.
And I mean, word of mouth. So we're both marketers, right? Word of mouth advertising will always be number one. I don't care what any marketer ever tells you. They're lying if they disagree. And number two is also trying the product. You brought that piece up before. So as I said, you guys kindly sent me a bunch of different flavors. I loved just about pretty much all of them. Actually, I think my favorite was the strawberry watermelon, if I'm not mistaken. That one is fantastic. Lemonade. I apologize. Strawberry lemonade. I gave some to my friend. A couple of our friends came over. They tried it. They absolutely loved it. Don't know if they've bought any since, but I mean, at least that's a foot in the door, right? That's getting people in the right direction. That's getting them to where they need to be to say, hey, the next time if they are in the mood to buy an energy drink or find one, they know I like this flavor. It's much better for me than some of the other things. So I think that's awesome. One thing I'm curious about is what are evolutions in the product, right? Flavors are great. We can all come up, you and I can sit down, we can come up with 100 flavors that probably sound absolutely fantastic, and I'm sure your flavor team would love to make them. But at some point, flavors are flavors, right? Everyone will have their favorite. It is what it is. You only can make so many. What are other things that you're doing to evolve the brand, to evolve the product, to ensure that we're not just falling or resting on our laurels of saying, hey, it's really good for you. It tastes great. Here, go try it. Okay, cool. Great job, John. Your day's over, right? You did it. What else are you guys doing to evolve?
Yeah, we're constantly looking at the category and really total beverage. So what's interesting is, we partner with Pepsi right now. So team's really focused right now with our new distribution. We're bringing on a lot of new team members. We've actually hired over 100 people in the last 90 days. So it's been pretty hectic with new team members. Yeah, we got a lot of great new team members. It's growing. It's all about the team. But when you look at like where the brand goes from this point, we are looking at other categories and, white space within maybe PepsiCo's portfolio. Where some areas that we see a gap and that we can maybe fill that void with some, innovative, better for you, something around further health and wellness to really expand that Celcius brand name and portfolio. So, we looked at like hydration opportunities. Functional hydration could be a great opportunity for the brand. We looked at a protein portfolio. We got other different types of sub-segments within energy that we think we can play in. So there's a lot of different ways that this brand can evolve. I think it's timing and sequencing right now with our partner is really critical, but expect some great innovation from Celcius coming out down the line in the future for sure. The teams are working hard. We got a great innovation team, and there's so much opportunity where this brand can scale and grow.
I love it. Yeah, as long as everything stays to the brand, right? As everything stays within that kind of that live fit, as you've been talking about, making sure that people live their best lives, and you don't get too far outside of that. I'm sure you guys would be very. Oh, there it is, strawberry lemonade, right? Is that right behind you?
Amazing.
Dude,
Amazing.
That one's my favorite. That
Amazing.
one is my favorite.
We're told that's like the most refreshing energy drink anyone's ever had. It's like
absolutely
really,
delicious.
Really good. Yeah,
it
strawberry
is absolutely
lights out.
Hands down, my favorite one that you guys sent me. Arctic Vibes number 2, 1A, 1B. Come on, we're splitting hairs, I guess. All right, my last question, or at least my last thought that I wanted to get on. One thing that I when I was getting ready for this interview and kind of realizing, some of the questions, the ideas that we talk about, one brand kept coming up, and it was Body Armor. And that's kind of how I've almost, at least again, from the outside looking in, seeing, hey, small brand, gets seemingly big, at least from my perspective on how often I see it on the internet, seemingly big very quickly. That's kind of what happened with Body Armor, right? Like all of a sudden there was commercials, and Mike Trout was in commercials for Body Armor, and all of a sudden they're getting bought by Coca-Cola for however many millions of dollars. Crossing my fingers that happens for you guys at some point with Pepsi, of course. How do you guys look at other brands like that and kind of see their trajectory and see some of the things that strategically that they did? Obviously, it's different categories, but how do you learn from others in kind of that have similar paths to what you guys were going down?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I think, listen, you got to learn something new every single day. I think that's critical. I mean, everyone should bring that through life. I mean, learn something new every day. we keep an eye on our competition. We keep an eye on other brands. I think you look at other brands as well that are outside of beverage. I mean, you're talking about Body Armor, great brand, amazing brand. Essentia Water, another great brand that's fairly new. Has done extremely well. You look at there's so many other brands. We also look at apparel brands as too, like Gymshark. That's a great brand that's been able to really make a big difference. There's some other brands that are out there. So we're constantly keeping an eye on up and coming brands and who's the disruptor, right? And then trying to understand how they displaced, how they disrupted, where do they find that gap within that segment they're going after? What are their consumers? What are some of the things they're targeting? So I think that never ends, right? You're always evaluating. I think that's really important to do, especially you mentioned sports and business. And for the love of sports, I mean, it's critical, right? I mean, it's just like being an athlete. Who's the competition? What are you doing? What are they doing? What are they doing to get an edge? How are you going to get that edge? So sports and business go hand in hand every single day. And it's the same, right? It's always, looking at, how do you get better? What's next? What's behind you? What's coming after you? Continue to keep pushing every day and push harder.
Push harder every single day. I love it, man. John, this has been absolutely fantastic. Where can we learn more about the brand? Where can we maybe follow you? Hear some of your thoughts online? Give us some of the places we can go.
Yeah, check us out. I mean, the brand, you can check us out on TikTok, Instagram, or Celcius.com. You can always go there, find a retailer near you. Also on LinkedIn, you can check me out, John Fieldly. Love to connect there on a business platform and communicate and share ideas for sure.
Love it. One more time, John Fieldly, CEO and president of Celcius. John, time's the only thing we don't get more of, so I sincerely appreciate you giving me some of yours, the audience giving us some of theirs. But other than that, man, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the love of sports. Great for having us.
Love it. Have a great day, John. Thanks, everybody.